welcome back to the channel. As you guys see, I got the S550 Mustang behind me. Today's gonna be actually something I've really been looking forward to doing. I've actually had the parts and materials to do this. I've honestly just been procrastinating with all the other stuff going on in the world. My birthday, for you guys that don't know, was in September. My lovely girlfriend got me a headlight Starliner kit with the shooting stars in it and everything. So that's pretty much what we're gonna be tackling today. I'll show you guys the kit just in a second. Big shout out to her for getting me this. I really was not expecting it whatsoever. Caught me way off guard. And on top of that, it is a badass kit. I mean, this has 550 stars, comes with the shooting star, extra little twinkles, the remote to change the color on all of it. So it's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to see how this looks sitting in the car. Of course, this will be like a DIY, do-it-yourself kind of installation, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. So probably gonna be a little bit of a long video. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance for that, you guys. Yeah, so gonna go ahead and show you guys the inside of the car here, I guess. Plain black interior. Luckily the roof is already black, so I mean, just imagine it right now, just sitting there sparkling and twinkling. I mean, this is gonna look sick. So big shout out to her right there. Say a little hey to the camera for us. Without doing too much more talking, let's go ahead and grab this kit and kind of show you guys what we're gonna be installing. So this is the kit we got here. She ordered this off Amazon. Of course, in the description I'll put the exact link to this exact kit for you guys. But you can actually see it's the Shinley fiber optic with the twinkle 16-watt shooting stars. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what kind of kit we got to work with. All right, open it up here at this first thing. This is going to be the shooting stars or whatever. Of course, that looks like the module itself. Honestly, you'd think it weighs a lot more. That thing doesn't weigh nothing. Okay, this is the second little module for the smaller lights to plug into. I already see how that works. You guys see those little small little pieces on there? Those connect into all these holes, and then these two connect together with a wire. Then you got the big strand of lights. I guess this would be the 500 and whatever strands. That's gonna be fun. What else we got in here? We got a little wall plug-in in case you wanna, you know, plug them up in your room or whatever. And this looks like the adapter cord to plug into both modules, because you have the shooting stars and the normal ones. But obviously we're not putting this in a room or anything, so we shouldn't need that wall plug-in. We will need this car adapter plug-in right here. Luckily, they give us about, I think it says there's 10 feet worth of cord, which is awesome because on these S550s, you don't want the wire hanging out up underneath your feet and all that. So they do give you enough wire to hide it up underneath seats or underneath body trim, whatever you got to do. So last and not least, we got the controller to control these things. Of course, turn them off and on, change all your different colors. There's different speeds of them and whatnot. Flashing the lights with the music, meteor speed, meteor mode. Oh yeah, so this definitely got some really cool little functions and stuff on it, some cool little modes on it. But other than that, it looks like we got a couple little screws in here that I have no clue what they're for, and some little small drill bits for poking the holes through your headliner. So that's pretty much everything came in this box, you guys. From there, we're pretty much just gonna start opening the car up and kind of showing you guys the first steps on how to disconnect some of these pillars on the inside and start to disconnect the headliner from getting out. So let's go ahead and start seeing what we need to take out the first pieces of this headliner. Moving in here into the interior, starting to take the very first things out. You got to take these sun visors out on both sides. You got to disconnect this and take it out. You got to take this pillar off, or at least disconnect it so you can get the headliner out from up underneath it. Same thing with this pillar here, right in the middle, and of course the rear pillar back there. So we're gonna start with this sun visor here. It does say that the little bolt that keeps it in is like one of those like T14s or whatever. And I don't have any of those, but I did find a very small Allen key that so happens to fit in there just about perfect, and it's not going to strip it out. So that's gonna be the first thing, which is right up in this hole here. Just a little Torx bolt up in there. All right, so just starting over here, like I said. There she is. Popping this little plastic cover off right here. Got this little 2 clips in it. Each of these push in at the same time, then it'll pop down. Grab that one on each side, push it in. Yep, pop down like that. There it is. All right, once you got that pulled down, just kind of take this wire and just gently kind of tug it. Falls down a little bit, and you got this really small little button. Boom. Now you're disconnected from that. Moving on over here to the driver's side, like I said, same thing. Take this little T4 bolt out, pop that little tab off, covering up this bolt. Once you take that cover off, get your 2 flat heads, push them 2 sides together, pop it down. And same thing, pull your cord down a little bit, disconnect that button. Next, we're gonna be working on getting the interior dome light piece out. Kind of push in on the sides and just kind of work it down, kind of give it a little bit of a yank, extremely terrified, so hopefully this doesn't break, but if it does, at least it'll be on video. I mean, damn. That was me low-key trying. I guess that little clip that you guys can see right there, it's got to come out somehow. So hopefully we don't break it, but I guess I'm just going to send it and kind of pull down on it, sort of. Yep. Once you get that metal clip, that whole clip will pop out. Go ahead and do the other side. All right, same thing on this side. We'll just reach in there, try to pry that metal clip out. And boom, it'll pop out like that. Now you got that loose, and you don't even really have to disconnect this or anything. You can take them out, but you can honestly kind of finesse it out of there like this, you know. So we'll leave it dangling for the time being. And now you got the dome interior light removed. Well, next, after you got that out, we're pretty much going to start removing this pillar here and the pillars in the back. Go ahead and start with this one. All you really got to do is get your fingers underneath the trim here, and honestly, you just kind of pull it off, pry it off, disconnect it. Get my fingers in there, and just like that, she starts to pop right out. And to be honest, you can take it all the way off, but I don't even think we're really gonna need to. I think we'll be able to kind of get it off with that. So we'll go ahead and do that on both sides. Get your fingers in there and just kind of pry it down a little bit, get it out the way some. All right, so next, coming back here to this middle pillar right here where the seatbelt connects, there's this little hook right here. If you look inside of it, there's the same little size star that you use to get your sun visor out. So we're gonna get that, loosen this little small screw inside of there, take that out, and that should give us just enough play to be able to kind of finesse it out of there. So then from here, you're just gonna keep following this down all the way to this back one and just pop it down, pull it out like that, as you see, and boom, the headliner's already getting exposed. So we'll just repeat that on the other side. Like I said, same thing on this side. We'll take this screw out, pull that right off. That'll give you enough room to pop the headliner out of there. And same thing in the back. Just pull that on down, and boom. All right, so on this middle pillar, we are gonna go ahead and take off this little seatbelt thing. So you just grab this and kind of pull up on it, and it pops right off. Then you got another little torque bolt in there. I'm not sure exactly what size it is, but like I said, I don't really have any of them torque bolts or T-bolts, so just been kind of finding whatever I have and see what I can make work in there. And went ahead and take this bolt out so we can pull this seatbelt thing off and just have a lot more room to pull this out the way and get access to get the headliner down. So once you got that bolt taken out, just kind of keep it all intact. I'm gonna just slide it down and rest it right here, and from there we'll be able to go ahead and pop this out, rest the way that we need it to. Like I said, go ahead and do it to both sides. Same thing, just pop that thing off. Take that same bolt out of this side, and just go ahead and I'm gonna rest that right there. And yeah, that lets you pull this out a lot more, have a lot more room. You can pull this back all the way out and all the way down, and now you can get in there and pull the whole headliner out. So once we got all those corners and everything popped out, like I said, just run your fingers around, make sure you got it all exposed kinda, and I can already see it starting to drop. So I guess we're just gonna go for this, y'all. Here we go, taking the headliner out of my freaking 2020 Mustang, y'all. So I guess let's just do this thing, right? I guess I'll start in the back. That's kind of what they say. All right, so just start working one corner out. You know, you'll have to work her out. There's a couple little push pins in there. She's starting to come down now. As you can see, just got to work her around them pillars. Just kind of stretch them out. Whatever you got to do. And she's falling out, you guys. I mean, she's coming. Keep going around here. Interior dome light through the center. Are these wires off of here? Of course, you have to remember that's for your sun visor. That's it, guys. She's completely disconnected. All you really got to do at this point is line the headliner up, make sure it's underneath the steering wheel, and make sure that your seats are laid back. And you might have to give it a slight bend and just pull it straight on out. So just make sure it's there. Give it a slight little bend here. And just pull it right on out. Now you got that completely done, go ahead and lay it wherever you're gonna be working on it. All right, guys, we got the headliner in here now. My roommate's dog seems to be pretty curious on why the hell it's in the house. But we got it laid out here, so next we're gonna go ahead and remove all these little pieces of soundproofing and whatever. We're putting a little work in, nice. Alright guys, we went ahead and stripped everything off of there. Like I said, we do keep these two magnetic tab things in there, magnetizes to the roof. Next, we went ahead and just kind of made our little outline trim with the Sharpie of the stuff that's getting tucked up underneath all the trim, because obviously you don't want to put any stars there and have it in the way. So we went ahead and marked our main grid out, and from here we have a 550 piece kit. We're about to kind of see exactly how many meteor stars we have. That way we can set them accordingly to where we want, but we're gonna go ahead and just kind of grid out probably in sections of 4 and have about 125 in each, and then of course figure out where we want to have our meteors at. And if you read down in the description, it is 550 pieces, but that's only referring to the main ones. It's actually a total of 646 because it doesn't even include the meteor lights, which there is 96 of those, which is a really odd number. So we got 646 things total. 550 normal stars, 96 meteor stars. So now we're gonna go ahead and kind of lay out a diagram of exactly where we want the meteor stars at and how many of them out of that 96. So alrighty guys, we went ahead and got a little bit carried away. I went ahead and divided the headliner into 4 sections, but instead of just doing straight lines up and down and across, I went and did like a kind of a S figure line. That way the dots weren't in any kind of synchronization or anything like that. Just to make sure that it's not gonna be any columns of dots, you know, that makes sure they're all kind of randomly spread throughout. Now I have to get a different color marker and go ahead and mark out where I'm gonna have the meteors. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do that. Not sure if I want one big shooting star going through the center, or you know, 2 or 3 smaller ones in different spots, or gonna kind of brainstorm on that for a minute and go ahead and get marked out on the back of here where I want my shooting star or stars to be at. All right, so we're starting to mark out the holes now for the shooting star effects. Didn't really specify anywhere online how far you should space the little strands of lights for the shooting star, so we're just going with 3/4 of an inch because some of the videos on YouTube look like they went about 1 inch and they were just spaced out a little too far. So hopefully 3/4 of an inch gives us a nice shooting star effect. Let's go ahead and keep dotting our lines, and we'll catch you guys in just a little bit. Now is the fun part. We're gonna gather our drill bits together and stuff and start punching these 646 holes. So we'll catch you guys in about a year or 2. All right, well, we went ahead and got the little drill bit that Shinley supplies that y'all saw in that little bag during the unboxing. Me and my buddy here, we're just gonna take a little minute and go ahead and start popping all these holes through. This is gonna take a while. We're gonna take our time, make sure we get them punched through and we don't damage anything on the underneath. So just start in one corner and slowly start to work your way away and keep track of the ones you've already hit. And just go through, hit all your dots. Once we get done with this, we'll be able to go ahead and start test fitting our lights through these holes and start working on mounting the wires and stuff to the back of this. Make sure you get some through there. All right, we got all of our holes punched through. Next, we're gonna go ahead and just start popping the shooting star lights through, being that they gotta be in a specific order, and then we'll worry about filling in all the other holes after that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and run these 96 little shooting star lights through and start to get this thing actually laid out. Of course, my wiring is going to go kind of down the driver's side of the car, so I'm going to kind of try to funnel all the wires towards over here in the end. Go ahead and get these little shooting stars filled in, and we'll catch you guys in a minute. Upon pulling the meteor lights out and looking at the meteor box itself, we realized that there is 12 little holes, and each of those holes lights up in a pattern, you know, so it'd be a shooting star. So do-do-do-do-do-do-do, so to speak. There is 8 strands of lights on each of those things that plug into here, and there's 12 plug-ins. Since each of one of these little lights lights up one at a time, starting here and then goes over, that means that each 8 strands that plug into this first hole, all 8 of those strands have to go to the beginning of different meteor strikes, or else it'd be all lighting up at the same time. So you got to think that you got to have all of them going in a row, so it's doodle-doo. So you can't just have one strand all going because they just all light up at the same time. So you actually have to have the first strand of each one into the first spot on each meteor shower. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I got all my meteor strands or my shooting star strands separated, and I'm going to get the first one, go ahead and grab it. And all of these different strands in it, I'll put the first one into the first one on each thing. So I won't go in order on them because these are all the first light. So these are the first ones I want to light up. So these are the first ones that'll go in each one. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around and put these first 8 strands into the first 8 holes on my different shooting star spots. So like I said, we're running the first strand out of this box to the very first light on the shooting star spot. And then of course the second strand will go to the second light on it. Alrighty guys, we got all the shooting star lights in place, got them all ran to each one. Went ahead and just bundled them all up right here and just tested them, make sure that they were all flashing in the right order, and of course they are. So for the next part, you're going to need a glue gun. And of course we haven't done all the holes yet, we've only done the meteor holes, but just to kind of go ahead and save me a little bit of time and confusion, I'm going to go ahead and go through and dab the meteor holes up, and then we'll put the other strands through and of course glue them down. But go ahead and glue these shooting star or meteor lights in, and we'll catch you guys when we get done with that. We'll just go ahead and start putting a little glob on each little spot right like that, and that's it. We'll go down each little strand, just put a little bit on there. Got my girlfriend here to give me some of her nail polish, and we're color coating the shooting star strands with the nail polish on where they go with the controller box. That way when we plug them back in, once we get done running the wire, we know all where they go so they fire in the right order like I was explaining before. Then we'll start getting ready to put the rest of the lights in. So you guys stay tuned and we'll start punching those through. Alright guys, we'll just have a little bit of a stopping point here. We already started putting the strands in. Keep in mind of the way that you're going to be running the lights out to the power source, just so you know which way they need to be going. And yeah, other than that, you guys get the idea. We probably won't show too much more punching these things through. Went ahead and got the rest of the 550 stars punched through. We're completely done with that part of the process. So next is pretty much get the glue gun back out and go around and start putting a little glob of glue around each one. So just gonna get this thing and start going around. So just put a little bit on there like that, just to kind of hold it in place. Of course, afterwards, when we get done with that, I'm gonna run some duct tape over all these bundles of wires just to kind of flatten them down, because we do got a little bit of a mess going on here. Wouldn't you say, Smokey? He don't care. Go ahead and start hot gluing all this stuff in, and we'll catch you guys in a little bit. Stay tuned. We just got done gluing all the little strands in the spot, as you guys can see. That way they don't pull out. Now the next step is I'm gonna get me some duct tape. I'm just gonna kind of put a few stretches going across each way just to kind of flatten all the wires down. While I'm doing that, I'm also gonna try to kind of pull the wires towards this way, the way that the bundles are coming off of the headliner. That way I just got as much slack to run my wire wherever I need to the power box. So yeah, gonna go ahead and get this duct tape down and get one more step closer. Got done duct taping everything up. Next step is pretty much take this thing out and start getting it fitted into the car. So, all right, guys, we're out here in the garage now. We got the headliner sitting on there, the way it's got to go in, and the wires got to go off that side. So once you start to put it in, you're going to make sure that seats are laid all the way back, just so you got some room to work in there. All this has got to tuck back up above it. This has got to come down through it. Same thing with this one on this side. This one goes up above it and comes out down over there. For the sun visor in the back, there's those 2 little magnet spots. Basically just gonna fit it up in there. Obviously start to tuck it back behind all the trim and everything, try to work it up, put them wires through like I just said, tuck it into the front trims or the front pillars and these side ones, and just kind of start to finesse it back up in there. What we did to get it out, we'll probably have to bend it a little bit to get it in there. Just try to do it quickly and hope for the best. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw this thing in. Get the headliner. Like I said, might have to give it a little bit of a bend. That's all right, just bend it and walk it dead on in. Don't stop till you get it in there, and boom. At least now, the headliner is back in the car. So from here, I'll be able to kind of start finessing the wires off of it over there and working it up into the cavities. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the main abundance of wires and pull those on over through this side, just so they're kind of already to the direction where they got to go and kind of out the way or whatever. So now all we have to worry about is getting it up in there, positioned into place. So start trying to finesse it up in there a little more. Well, first things first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the middle fixture light and kind of start to fish it through. Just gonna take it, pull him through, so that's at least back up where it's supposed to be. Of course, once you got that fitted up in there for the front, you can go ahead and get these little pieces for the sun visor and stick them through the holes on both sides. Like I said, that one wire, go around to the other side, that one wire has to come across back over here and then down into there like so, and boom, then you're pretty much ready to start pushing it back up in place. So not really sure what happened with the GoPro there, but I was kind of explaining how I was fitting it up in there and stuff, and it shut off and it started saying my SD card was corrupt. So like I said, you just fit it up in there, obviously put your headliner through and stuff. I tried to work the back corner up a little bit, get it in place first. Make sure you come up to the front, put all these corners of the headliner back into the trim. Gotta fish these wires down through next to this seat belt, going down into where this panel B is right here, because that's the way it's gonna run. About to go ahead and try to fish that down through there. Of course, that going like that. Of course, you got to get the stars, shooting star one through there also. Whew. Okay. Basically, you just got to take your time tucking all the corners in. See how this is still kind of coming out a little bit. Got to make sure you tuck all that stuff back in there. Get the headliner situated right. Make sure you do the same thing in the back corner real well on both sides and the fronts. And once you do that, you'll be able to reinstall your sun visor on both sides, and then you got your headliner completely reinstalled. So let's go ahead and finish tucking up some of these loose ends and installing the sun visors. Well, as you guys can see, it's a little dark in here, but this is the middle pillar here. I got the panel pulled off here. That's the driver door, and I ran my lights right down through here. And my original plan was to stay behind this panel, like with this one, and go through this hole right here into the trunk. But like I said, because I didn't manage the shooting star lights properly, I'm never gonna get these straightened out. So I am forced to put the box somewhere back here. So probably end up trying to mount it somewhere like right here or something. That's about the only place it'll be able to go. Ended up just running the box right here behind this panel, like I said. So just gonna try to find it somewhere, spot where it sits up underneath here, and click this back on and hide all that stuff, and we'll be done with that part. But just like that, we got all them wires put in there, hidden behind that panel. Back seat ready to go back down, nothing in the way of it. Everything's right back into place, looks good, nothing's hanging down, nothing's messed up. So ready to start clipping these little strings, and we'll be done with this project finally. So got a little trimmers. We're just gonna get these, go along, and cut that joint. Do that about 650 times, and we'll be wrapped up with this. So you guys stay tuned. Well, still just at it, trimming these up, working over on the driver's side now. We're starting to finally get somewhere, starting to see this through. Don't have too many more left to trim off, and we'll be able to show you guys the final product of this Starlight kit on a 2020 Mustangs. She bought it and she helped me put it in. Almost done, last little corner. The moment we've been waiting for. The final strand of light. Go ahead and give it a cut. Boom. And that's it. We are finally done with this project. Interior completely put back together. Everything's hidden. Looks nice and just like it came out. So we're gonna go ahead and let you guys see what it looks like. You ready? Oh shit, bro. Oh my god. Damn, look at the shooting stars going. That is lit. Oh my god, that shit's crazy. So I guess it's green. Let's go orange. Okay. What else we got? Let's go blue. Ooh, I like the blue. That's lit. That's fucking tough.
Yeah, it do.
Red. Okay.
Do purple.
Purple. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's tough. Golly. That is crazy, y'all. This shit came out fucking perfect. No lie. Can't see no wire or nothing anywhere. Hell yeah, that is what I'm talking about. What y'all think of it, man? Yeah, bro, honest opinion, bro. What y'all think? Y'all fucking with it? Hell yeah, bro. Hey, I appreciate y'all for giving me a little hand today and shit. Y'all know what's up. You too, as always, for buying it for me. Thank you very much. And helping me install it. Damn, them shooting stars are hard. I'm glad it ended up being the little small ones instead of the big ones. That shit's lit. We're gonna call it here for today. Great success. It's finally fully in. I'm so satisfied with it. But we're gonna go get some dinner, kind of relax and enjoy this and go drive the car. So we'll catch you guys in a little bit. Alrighty guys, that pretty much wraps it up. As you guys saw, there's lots of different option modes. You can go in there, reset stuff on the little controller. There's an app you can connect to, change all the stuff, the brightness, the speed of the meteors or the shooting stars or whatever. And yeah, overall it turned out awesome. It was a little bit of a lengthy process, not gonna lie. It was difficult. All in all, I think it was like 10 or 11 hours that it took me. And of course I could have done it quicker, but you know, had to take my time, make sure I got it right. But that's pretty much it for the install. Definitely give it a 10 out of 10. The Shinley 550 piece plus shooting star set is freaking awesome, and I highly recommend it for your S550 Mustang. And yeah, that's pretty much the install. Of course, if you guys have any questions or anything, make sure you guys hit me up. I'll leave my Instagram right here in case you guys have any questions or anything on your install. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. Appreciate you guys for watching. Big shout out to everyone that's been watching and leaving likes, comments, and subscribing. Appreciate you guys a lot. Definitely motivates me to keep going, making videos, making these installations, and doing all the different stuff I like to do on this car. So big shout out to you guys as always, for sure, for that. If you haven't, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode of 6 Speed Pat.